I am honored today to be given the privilege of presenting this citation. The highest honor the Senate of the University can confer upon an individual is an honorary doctorate. At the University of Manitoba, the criteria includes distinguished achievement in scholarship, the arts, or public service. Our honorary graduate this afternoon is Senator Douglas Everett. While most people saw an empty corner of a parking lot, the Honourable Douglas Everett saw a way to transform the gasoline industry. When others saw a political role steeped in tradition, he saw a way to do things differently. He is a retired senator, lawyer, founder of Domo gas stations, and a visionary. Senator Everett says that his determination and drive come from the competitive spirit of his family home and the competitiveness of his siblings. It inspired him to chart a course in business at his father's car dealership, Dominion Motors, in Winnipeg in the 1950s. The senator is a quick study. By age 25, he had already had a law degree from this university, was vice president of what was then Canada's largest Ford dealership. And it was his idea in the mid-60s to branch out and create a chain of gas kiosks at grocery stores. He leased a small spot of land on Safeway parking lots and installed 2 pumps on each lot. Such low overhead created savings he could pass along to the customer. And he had effectively, by that step, leveled the playing field against some heavy hitters like Shell and Imperial Oil. Today, the iconic Domo brand is among the country's largest independent gas retailers, with more than 90 locations across Western Canada. It is one of a group of companies that make up the Royal Canadian Securities, of which Senator Everett still remains chairman, emeritus, and strategic advisor. Humble by nature, he credits his business success to the people who has made up his team during his career. His visionary leadership earned their loyalty, and many Domo employees enjoyed careers that stretched 4 decades. When the company was first expanding across the country and growing into a major industry player, this astute businessman caught the attention of the then Prime Minister, Lester Pearson, who summoned him to the Senate in 1966. At 39 years of age, Senator Everett became the youngest person to join the upper chamber up to that point. He says he was swept up in the vigor of national politics. As chairman of the Committee on National Finance, he was determined in his pursuit to reveal government inefficiencies. He proved to be as bold and decisive in politics as he had been in business, bringing his acumen to the public realm. Through philanthropy, he has shown tremendous dedication to causes close to his heart, contributing to education, the arts, and healthcare. The Everett family has long championed St. Boniface Hospital. His father served as chairman of the St. Boniface Hospital Advisory Board, and Senator Everett would later join their fundraising committee, which brought to fruition the first major expansion of the hospital several decades ago. When the Everett family members were touched by autism, spectrum disorder, and Alzheimer's disease, they were moved to support research for these conditions that affect tens of thousands of families across Canada. They do so through the Division of Neurodegenerative Disorders at St. Boniface Hospital's world-renowned Albertson Research Center. Senator Everett's contribution have also had a significant impact on many other Manitoba institutions, including the Winnipeg Art Gallery and the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. Here at the University of Manitoba, his support benefits students pursuing political studies, peace building, and jazz studies. He has also served as honorary member of the university's capital campaign cabinet. With a lifetime of remarkable entrepreneurship, civic duty, and philanthropy, Senator Everett is still known for his ability to see what others may not, and that is the mark of a true visionary. Mr. Chancellor, it is an honor for me to ask on behalf of the Senate of the University of Manitoba that you confer on the Honourable Douglas D. Everett the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of this university, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations, Dr. Everett.
Speaking this afternoon on behalf of the Senator, his son, also Douglas Everett.
Thank you. I'd like to read a statement prepared by my father. Thank you, Chancellor Sector, Dr. Barnard, distinguished guests, and most importantly, today's graduates. I am deeply moved by this honor and grateful to my old friend Arthur Morrow for his kind words of introduction. It is also a great pleasure to share the stage with my fellow honoree, Elder Louis Bird. To all graduates assembled today, I extend my sincerest congratulations. On occasions such as these, we celebrate not only your accomplishments, but also the academic and social community in which you have thrived. All communities have their triumphs and their tragedies, but it is in strong communities, it is often in crisis, that the real meaning of community and the bonds that unite us shine. When I finished at Osgoode Law School and returned to Winnipeg to complete my qualifications here at the University of Manitoba, the flood of 1950 was at its peak. It was a devastating event, and the city was utterly unprepared. But right here on this campus, graduating students exchanged their gowns for hip waders to fight the floodwaters. Like the evacuation of Dunkirk, Winnipeggers saw what needed to be done and did not hesitate to do it, even at risk to themselves. Those with boats ferried people to safety, sandbags were filled, and temporary dikes erected. Space was found for the evacuees, and food and clothing donated. The people of this city and this university pitched in and pulled in the same direction until the crisis was over. It was hard work, exhausting, dirty, and dangerous, and it was wonderful. It enlarged us. Indeed, the things that enlarge us are often not the things we expect. As graduates of this great and respected institution, the University of Manitoba, you have already shown that you know how to set a goal and achieve it. So I salute all of you. You have an education in a world that increasingly favors the educated. Your futures are shimmering with possibilities. All the things that brought you to this milestone, your hard work, focus, and talent will carry you through your careers. Still, I wish for you and for the world that you will build more than a successful career. I hope that being a good citizen of your community matters to you as well. This could mean pitching in a crisis. Between the great events of our lives, there are the ordinary acts of decency and courage that add up to the character of a society. These acts do not require a university degree, and often the trick to dealing with a crisis that is not a flood or a hurricane is the capacity to recognize that there is a crisis, combined with the courage and energy to overcome it. So I ask you to cultivate the first habit of the good citizen, being an informed citizen. Read a daily newspaper, preferably more than one, so that the freedom of the press is not lost to the rumor and innuendo of social media. Exercise your franchise so the lunatic fringe doesn't elect your leaders for you. Your right to vote is both a privilege and a civic duty. Watch out for your neighbors and let them watch out for you so that you are part of the community you live in. Honor the family you came from and the one you build. Teach your children these values. Though I studied law here at the University of Manitoba and at Osgoode in Toronto, and was called to the bar in both provinces, I have spent my life in business and politics. I never practiced law, yet I never regretted studying it. Don't be surprised if the career you anticipate now is not the path you take. Life has many twists and turns. What arrives as a crisis often turns out to be an opportunity. It is the people we help and the challenges we overcome that make us what we become, both professionally and personally. In my life, I have been blessed with extraordinary opportunities, wonderful luck, and the best of colleagues and coworkers. I wish that for each of you, but even more, I wish that you clearly understand that having family, friends, and community to work for and with is the greatest opportunity of all.